All right, welcome back to the Kajabi Bootcamp. Today we're going to be creating an offer. And so you're going to go into your dashboard first and then open up, go into sales and then click the button that says create new offer and you'll arrive at this page. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is give it a title. What is the title of your offer? So let's just say that it's going to be one-to-one coaching. So we'll give it a title. And then where it says choose products to sell, for one-to-one coaching, you don't necessarily need to do this unless you are adding a library or a course or something like that. So you don't need to add any products to sell for one-to-one coaching, but let's just say you're doing a group coaching program. So let's do that. So group coaching program. And you are going to add a course to it, then this is where you would choose product to sell. Okay, so then let's go here to next. All right, is it going to be a one-time payment plan, or what are you doing here? So let's just start with a one-time payment, and let's just say $9.99 USD. This let customers pay what they want would be if you're doing a sliding scale, and then select payment type. We're going to go ahead and select Kajabi payments. So when you first started your trial, one of the first things that you're going to get prompted through is setting up Kajabi payments, and you're going to need to go into Stripe and set that all up with your social or your ID number and your personal information, and then connect that. That'll be your first step. And then your Kajabi payments will be set up. So then you can add additional payment options. Once you have Kajabi payments set up, you can go ahead and select all of these. And let's go next. Okay, so we're going to just stick with all this. Custom pay checkout button. This is where you could change it to sign up now or anything that you want. It could be personalized to your program. If it's let's say it's your, I don't know, new coaches course, then it could be like join the new coaches now or something like that. So that's where you can customize your checkout button. Okay, form fields. I wouldn't mess with any of this right now. Let's just leave that for now. But I do like to create a service agreement. And so this is where you can add it. But once you create this offer, you're going to duplicate this offer and then just edit the future offers. So don't get too worried about what this says. Let's just save it and finish it for now. Because once you do that, then you're going to end up in this page. And this is where you're going to add more information. Okay, so you're going to give it a title, group coaching. We already called it that. And then internal title is what you see as the Kajabi owner, the Kajabi user. This is what your people see when they buy the offer. This is what you see. So let's say you had a group coaching program and you decide to offer different payment plans or different tiers or something like that, like a VIP or group coaching with one-to-one, then you could go ahead and change the internal title for yourself, but meanwhile, they still see this title. Okay, so this is where you would choose an image for your thumbnail, and you could create this graphic on Canva. That's where I create all my graphics, and you would just upload a new file. Once you upload a new file, they're usually saved in your recent files. So that's kind of a cool feature. You don't have to go in and upload a new file every time. Okay, so we've done that. We've done the title, internal title, added the thumbnail. Now this is where you'll add a product. And this is like if you want to have a course with this, you can add that there. And then this is important. So what happens once they purchase this? Okay, so if you've added a product, then you would select member product library. But if there's no product with this offer that you're selling, what I would do is I would create an existing landing page. I would create a landing page that says welcome and basically let them know what the next steps are. So if you, I don't know, if you have a YouTube playlist that goes with this offer, then I would have the existing landing page say, welcome to the program. Here's the next steps. Here's the link for the playlist or whatever you want them to know. Here's the link for the Zoom for our calls. That would go on an existing landing page. All right, so I would select none, post-purchase email, select none, and then automations. So if you're in your free trial, you won't be able to send emails until you become a paid Kajabi customer, but this is where you would add automation. So when the offer is purchased, what happens? Then you can do all this stuff. Okay, so what I usually do is, it really depends on the offer, but like for my digital courses, okay, so what I do is I add subscribe to an email sequence. I create an email sequence of emails that support them in their offer. Say it's like a 6-week digital course. I will create a 6-week email sequence that gives them an email each week for directions on their course or support with their course. So that's where you would subscribe to an email sequence. You're going to use this drop down and select your email sequence. Okay. Keep in mind that if you're in your free trial, you will not be able to send any emails. So that won't even come up for you. I want to go back into automations here because there's a lot of different automations that you can use. And I don't want you to get confused. The main one that I use here is subscribe to an email sequence, register to an event. I don't use that. Send an email. I used to use that if it's just like a one-time offer, like say it's a group coaching program and I just want to send them one email to welcome them and to let them know the links that they're going to need to use to participate in the program. I would send an email here. Add a tag. So what that means is when you go to email everybody and say, you know, our call is coming up today, or here's the link for our call, get on the call now. You want to be able to segment your list so that you can easily decide who that email is going to go to. So for add a tag, what you would do is you would add a tag and it would be a tag that you create in contacts, in the contacts area, that basically says that they, you know, it identifies them as a customer of that course. So that's what automations is about. So let's scroll back up and just give you a quick overview. You've got the title, the internal title. This is important to offer status. If this is on draft, nobody's going to see it. If it's published, that's where people see it. You've given it a price already, but if you want to go into pricing, actually, this is where you would add the options. And I really like this. That's why I wanted to create this updated offer description video, because this is the new offer update that Kajabi added, where you can add multiple payments to the to one offer. Meaning, if you want to have a pay in full, if you want to have different payment plans, you can do it all in one page now, which is very cool. So let's just say it's $9.99. So then let's do 222, and then we'll do 10 payments. I don't know. Let me just make something up here. 5 payments. We're going to bill interval monthly and no trial period, no setup fee. We'll save that. Okay. All right. So now you're going to see the pricing options. You've got the one-time payment, the payment plan, and you can also add another one. Say you want to do another payment plan and you want to do 111 for 10 payments. There you go. See that? It's very cool. And then, of course, you've got Kajabi payment selected. Go through and select all these different ways people can pay you if you want. Klarna would, and Afterpay, that's like a third party. They give you the full pay amount. And Klarna and Afterpay, let me just clarify, you can only use those on pay in fulls. They don't do payment plans on payment plans. Thing about Klarna and Afterpay, though, just keep in mind is that they do take a higher fee, but you do get paid upfront. So that's kind of cool. If you need to charge tax, there you go. You can add tax. And let's go to edit checkout here. Okay, so this is a little bit, this is an update from Kajabi that they added in October of 2025. I don't know when you're watching this video, but they updated the checkout, which I really, really like actually. And it does make it a little bit more complicated for you, but it's going to be a better user experience. So what's different? The old checkout page only had one payment option. Now you've got 1, 2, 3 different payment options. You can add another image here, and then this is where you would add your description, the text. So add the description. I like to use ChatGPT to help me write descriptions. It makes it a lot easier. You just go into ChatGPT and say, write me a description for the offer page for my XYZ program. These are the details, and then just start working with ChatGPT on refining the languaging for your offer, and then you would add it here in this text box. Okay, so one thing I like to do personally is I like to change the background color of, not that, that's not the right one. So let's go back. Actually, where did they just added this? So let's go back. Back. Okay, settings. Is it in settings? Where did it go? Let's go back to offer settings. Okay, I think it's in settings here. Yes, that's where it is. Okay, we're customizing this. Excuse me. And you just have to play around with things sometimes. Like if you get frustrated or you're like, where is it? Oh my gosh. Okay. Not in logo. Why is it eluding me at this moment? Design tools, not in design tools, style guide. Here we go. Style guide. Okay. So let me just clarify that. Okay. So where are we? Let's go back to the very beginning. Okay. So you're in this offer, right? There's details. That's where we added all this stuff. And then we're in settings. We go back to settings. And then we want to go up here, edit checkout. Okay. From edit checkout, you're going to go into settings. You're going to go into not design tools, style guide, and then general appearance, page background. This is where I select black. I would change this to, it's going to be default red. I change it to my brand colors. And let's go back here. So, okay, see how that changed everything. So this would actually be a photo. So you're going to have this photo be your thumbnail for the program. And you don't have to do a thumbnail, but it just makes it look a lot better. Because let's show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like on mobile. Wait, let's go back. Just one more thing. Okay, so mobile layout. Image on top. So we want to select that. Do you see how I did that? I know there's a lot to this and it will be confusing until, and like anything, you're always just learning something new. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's go to, it's in here somewhere. Okay, that's where it is. So I want to show you how I got in here. Okay, so I'm in group coaching, settings, style guide, sections. No. Da-da-da. I promise I know what I'm doing here. Good Lord. Okay. You can't get frustrated. You got to just keep on trying. Okay, where I just saw it. Okay, that's where it is. Oh my God. Okay, so we're in sections. Sections. So let's go to header. Not in there. Checkout. Okay. Checkout. So checkout, this is what I would change this. By default, the checkout is going to be like the first thing that they see. I don't want that. I want it to be the second thing because I want the photo of my thumbnail to be front and center and then my description. So let's go back to the description. So we've added, let's just do this so that you can see what happens. Okay. See how I added that copy? That's where it'll start going. So this is where you're going to put in the blurb that you get from ChatGPT. Everything else you want to just ignore. So let's just save that. This button up here, these are the different formats. So you can see it as desktop or mobile. And that's pretty much it. So that's just like an intro of the new offer page from Kajabi. You could still do cross-selling and all that stuff, but I really like it because now, and these three dots, we can do a preview. I really like it now because you can add multiple payment options. You could do the pay in full, the one time, the monthly. And I really love that because back in the day before we had this, you had to have separate offer pages for every different configuration. And that was kind of a pain in the butt. So this is an upgrade from Kajabi. So this is the overview of just how to start to navigate and create an offer checkout page. Okay. So have fun with this and we'll see you in the next video.